The actual starting place of the expedition in Africa is the little village of Akeza, in equatorial heat on the mud flats of the Niger River, and we are already over 10,000 miles away from home. Adventurous missionaries, ivory traders, and elephant hunters have used this town as a jumping-off place many times before us, and signs of civilization are apparent. Life is not a game of bridge and an afternoon of tea for the ladies of Africa. They are too busy pounding rice for the next meal. Yet there are light spots in this dark land. Here is a beauty parlor. She doesn't put in permanent waves. She's paid for trying to take them out. Anyway, she's trying to take out something. And here is the original tailor of 2 suits for the price of 1 frame. While he weaves a pair of trousers on his ancient foot-power loom, his customer in the background waits in his other suit. This little group of elephant tusks is worth over $10,000, and each pair represents the death of a 4-ton animal. Here we charter an old-time wood-burning stern-wheeler, which will carry the expedition approximately 500 miles up the Niger River. From that point, we will travel by truck, and the foot safari will carry the supplies. Hundreds of gallons of gasoline and oil for the truck must be transported and deposited at convenient points along our proposed route, in this manner or on the backs of our native quarters. We engage most of the town's population at 25 cents a day to chop wood for the boat and gather drift logs from along the riverbanks in their primitive canoes, which are hollowed out of a single tree. The foot safari of 200 natives are chosen from various tribes, and the immense amount of necessary supplies are divided into small loads, which they can carry on their backs far in advance of the truck and sound equipment. The fact that each tribe speaks a different language lessens the possibility of them all striking or quitting the expedition at one time. How would you like to carry 60 pounds on your head 20 miles a day in torturous heat? Finally, the entire expedition is loaded onto the steamship which will carry us up the Niger and into the heart of the Dark Continent. Then we will begin our great trek across equatorial Africa, where man is the prey of animals and animals the prey of man. Africa the unknown. The crossing of the Shari River presented a problem until we found a trader with a small portable motor attached to a rowboat. Our own men fashioned a flimsy raft of 3 dugout canoes, which didn't look very safe, but was better than nothing at all. So we put the truck on and took the chance of walking back if anything happened in midstream.
Goodbye, everybody.
However, many trips landed everything safely, and on the other side we met some lonesome Frenchmen who treated us to wine and a very fine dinner. They were surprised to find that we had come all the way from the west coast by motor. At last we arrive on the edge of the great Ituri forest, in which elephants, the largest of all animals, and pygmies, the smallest of men, are found. The trail of the elephant is easy to follow, for they trample down everything in their way. Larger in size, but comparable in bulk to the rhino, elephants differ greatly in brains. They are the wise, are the most stupid. Their sight is very bad, but their scent and hearing are highly developed, making them most dangerous animals to approach. A family like this are very loyal comrades. They have been known to carry a wounded pal away from danger, supporting his immense body between them at the risk of their own lives. The African elephant, unlike his Indian namesake, has never been successfully trained for the use of man. Until recent years, ivory hunters penetrated the haunts of the elephant for centuries, killing millions of these majestic mammoths and taking away nothing but their tusks. We had been unable to find a route through the dense forest to the pygmy village, so we seized this opportunity to bribe our way with salt, which necessity of life is very difficult for them to obtain.
Boy! Kuja hapa! Kuja! Kuja hapa!
Here you are.
They love it. Like a child loves candy. It's very scarce in the forest. Chumbi! Chumbi mingi! Kuja! Chumbi guinea? Ifa minyara?
Yo! Dito!
He says he'll take us to the pygmy clearing if we bring plenty of salt.
We better bring plenty of water.
Something tells me he's going to be plenty thirsty.
Finally, our little guide brought us to a clearing in the center of the deep Ituri forest, and hundreds of pygmies came from all directions to greet us. The average height is a little over 4 feet, and they rarely weigh more than 75 pounds, but they are well proportioned and comparatively strong. This is the smallest tribe of people in the world. They live in clans of 20 or 30, a few miles apart, and a representative of each family receives the salt. The clan leaders are in turn ruled by a great king who occupies his throne through blood succession, just like the crowned heads of Europe. He is honoring us by coming in from the depths of his forest capital. We wanted to pay our respects to His Majesty there, but the darkness in the interior makes photography impossible, and the king graciously offered to come to us in the clearing. He is comparatively young, and both he and his subjects show character and intelligence. In this, they differ from most of the other African tribes. Besides supplying music for the dance, these great tom-toms boom out messages in a code similar to our telegraphy. Everybody dances in Pygmy Land, and their chanting, while not particularly harmonious, has a fast rhythm that makes the feet want to do things. These are the original hot dogs. The Pygmies have practiced companionate marriage for centuries, long before Judge Lindsay was ever heard of. If a marriage doesn't take after a year's tryout, they start all over again with a new wife. No one is allowed more than one wife at a time, except the king. He gets 2 for safety's sake, to ensure a son and future king. These are the queens. They are very modest and shy when the king is around. According to scientists who have made a study of the past history of this race, the pygmy is not really a Negro, and their faces certainly show a great similarity to nearly every other nationality in the world. Less than 2,000 of this particular tribe are known to exist, and until our visit, no one ever knew the proper tribal name, which is Ifi, I-F-I, Ifi. Here is an unusual fact. This peculiar style of wrestling is exactly the same as a very popular sport in Japan called rice wrestling, and here we find it in the center of Africa, 10,000 miles away. The idea of the thing is, the first one who is thrown off his feet is the loser. They make everything that they use, and the jungle furnishes them with food. Here they are constructing arrows. The shafts are made from the hearts of palm trees, which are strong, light, and durable.
Look at these beautiful teeth. A dentist in Africa would have a great chance. To starve to death. They mine and smelt their own iron, which they mold into arrowheads. The big savage in the center is the official poison mixer for the whole tribe. He actually stands only 5 feet 10 inches, but the difference in height is so noticeable that he looks like a giant beside them. This man belongs to another tribe and is maintained by the pygmies for one purpose. He mixes the poison. Then they dip their arrows into it and put the blame on him for whatever they kill. Their own conscience is clear because the force of the arrow will not cause death, but the poison does. That's their way of escaping responsibility. Darn clever, these pygmies. The large mound with the little house on it in the background is a great anthill. This is where we lived while here. They shoot very accurately, but depend more on the poison than the force. By their fat tummies. But it is very hard to get close enough to photograph them. Any unusual noise on the sounds of every description. A cheetah slinks off, uttering his odd bird-like call. Unusual and rare baby bat-eared foxes run for their dugout, where they huddle close together and cry plaintively in fear for their lives. Even a herd of ostriches glide by. The huge pads on their feet muffle the sound, and they make great speed in their springy, strutting manner. It's like Mother Nature holds a grudge against the zebra. Its glaring stripes make it an outstanding target for beasts of prey in search of food. Almost powerless when attacked by a lion, but oh boy, they kick and bite viciously when bothered by other animals. Zebras in zoos over here rarely make any kind of a sound, but this shrill bark is common both day and night in Africa. The stripe patterns are like human fingerprints. No two are found alike. They are often found grazing in company with a herd of topi, which are similar to a large American deer. These two widely separated species often fight together against their common enemy, the lion. The ripples across the picture in the background are heat waves, for it is 130 in the shade, and we never found much of that. Not the least bit camera conscious, just a born actor. His relations are running out on him. I don't know whether he's calling his mother or his father, but I guess he wants his mama. Though lions kill hundreds of thousands for food each year, the zebra still survives and increases in number, and their pounding hoofs in mad stampede can be heard on all the velds of Africa. Oh, the original rubberneck. You can't get close to a giraffe without him seeing you, but their curiosity is stronger than their fear, and often they'll stand 100 yards away and gaze steadily down at you. They are natural-born reachers. They will drink every day if near water, but they can get along without it for weeks at a time, thereby making a monkey out of the camel. A full-grown giraffe is the tallest animal on the face of the earth, often standing nearly 16 feet high. Hunters rarely kill these harmless monsters, but the natives often do, for the hide makes a bullwhip 30 feet long without a break.
But these two lions are stuck with food and lazy. They're just looking for a shady place to snooze. But Mr. Giraffe doesn't trust them. He just remembers a very important business engagement elsewhere. For such awkward bodies, they can make great speed, sometimes traveling as fast as 40 miles an hour. Our microphone registers only the hoofbeats. For giraffes, having no vocal cords, cannot utter a sound. They're just naturally dumb. But not quite as dumb as the yokel who first saw one in a circus and said, "There ain't no such animal." Here is a marvelous chance to study their peculiar rocking horse gallop. All 4 feet are never off the ground at one time. They were once called camel.